Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I know what you're probably thinking. Two videos in 2 days. This man is on absolute heater. Um, sort of. I just felt I should recap on some of my predictions from the GAA football in specific from 2 weeks ago, I believe. Those were the games that, started with the Kerry Donegal game that got rescheduled because of the storm, and then the slate on the weekend of the 15th and the 16th. So we're only going to be focusing on divisions one and two. And then I'll be making some predictions for this upcoming weekend's games, which is March 1st and 2nd. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's recap some of the games from last week. Obviously, the Kerry Donegal game. It was a solid game, and I predicted Donegal to win. So we're 1-0 so far. You'll see it gets worse. Uh, I predicted Galway to beat Derry simply because Derry's looked weak and that blanket defense they had last year wouldn't translate to the new rules this year. I was wrong. It was a draw, so we're 1-1. I predicted Kerry to beat Dublin, and I'd say it's the shock of the year that Dublin's actually good. I mean, good for Dublin standards, I should say, because Dublin is a good squad, but they were running Division One and Leinster and the country for a long time, and I'm simply surprised Dublin won that one, whereas I predicted Kerry, so that's another loss for me. Rebounding quickly, predicted Cork to beat Westmeath. Westmeath's been very poor, currently winless in league play, so I think it's safe to say they're going down. Solid win from Cork, rebounding from that um, down loss the previous week. Now here we go. Major disappointment. Down a man up for 10 minutes in the first half. Couldn't get anything done, albeit strong wind. But you can't chalk everything up to the weather. But yeah, it was a poor one. Down lost by 3 points, whereas I predicted them to win. Meath is looking decently strong. 3 wins out of 4 possible in group play, sitting second in Division Two. So you can't really fault them. And Jordan Morris just had an absolute all-star performance. I think it's something like 11 points from play, like three back-to-back 2-pointers. And you really can't beat a team when they're on form like that, even when they're away from home. But anyway, moving swiftly onwards. Mayo Tyrone game. I predicted Tyrone to win. Mayo, I wouldn't call it an upset because Tyrone's looked iffy at times. So is Mayo. So I guess you could give me that one. But still, I predicted Tyrone to win, and they didn't. So now the Donegal Armagh game. Letdown is the first word that comes to my head. Um, I thought it was going to be a lot more entertaining than that. The most entertainment we got was Michael Murphy getting uh, Aiden Forker sent off in about 30 milliseconds, but that was about it. Donegal ran away with this one, whereas I predicted a draw. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than what was it, 7 points in the end. But Donegal's strong. Donegal's one of the top two teams in the country, and it probably isn't number two. So yeah, I predicted a draw, ended up with a Donegal win. So right now we're 2 for 5, which is pretty dog shit. But I predicted the Roscommon win over Monaghan, which is a shocker considering Monaghan is tied top in a three-way tie with me and Roscommon in Division Two. Um, I expected Monaghan to be a lot weaker, and they showed fight. It's a tough Roscommon team, so not much you can do there. And the Louth Cavan game, I predicted a Louth win, and Cavan pulled off. I wouldn't call it the shock of the year, but fairly big shock considering they're very off form at the start of the year. So just to recap, my predictions from last week went 3 for 6, or sorry, 3 and 6, 3 wins, 6 losses. So don't go following me on any betting sites because you're going to get yourself into hot water by listening to me. But we're going to keep a consistent tally going of my overall record and the weekly record. So say this upcoming week I go 4-4. Four correct predictions, four incorrect predictions. I'll keep that stat up and I'll also add the four wins to my three wins and my four losses to my six losses. So I'll be 7-10 if I go 4-4, if you catch my drift. But anyway, moving into this week's fixtures. So starting with Saturday, March 1st, we've got Armagh Dublin, ultra banger to start off the week or weekend. Then we've got Kerry Mayo, Cork Roscommon in Division Two, and Down Cavan. And before we get into the meat and two veg of the breakdown, it's a must-win game for Down if they want to stay even remotely close to safety in Division Two. Um, they are 2 points off, and there's been no draw, so it's fairly simple on how a team has to stay up in Division Two this year so far. Down has to win. I believe it's away from home as well. I could be wrong, but these are the kinds of games against iffy Cavan sides that you need to win if you want to stay up and push for. I wouldn't even consider pushing for promotion this year. But anyway, on Sunday you got an all Ulster matchup, Donegal Derry. I'd be surprised if Donegal doesn't run away with this 10+ point victory. But anyway, Galway Tyrone, good game, but Tyrone's looked iffy as well. You know, they're bound to get relegated this year, and Galway's probably the number two team in the country right now. So I want it to be close, but I doubt it. Monaghan Louth, I I'd be a fool to not go for Monaghan this one, simply because of their run of form and exceeding expectations. Now, of course, teams who exceed expectations obviously slip up at one point or another. I don't expect it in this game. But Loud does look strong, so I'll wait to the breakdown to break this one down. As the name breakdown suggests, I sound like a fucking idiot right now. And then rivalry, Westmeath, Meath. Uh Shitty game. I'm anticipating. Me should run away with this one. But anyway, let's get into the game by game breakdown. Now, to start off the weekend, you've got Armagh and Dublin. I truly believe. All right, scratch this. Scratch whatever I said before that. Armagh haven't shown us their full potential yet. They are reigning All Ireland champions, and I believe they got some gas in the tank. Just hasn't been shown yet in game. Whereas Dublin, who I underestimated at the beginning of the year, have really turned up. Desi Farrell has done very well bringing youngsters that can compete at high levels. And I know it's senior football, they should be able to compete at high levels. They've surpassed expectations for this year anyway. I'm going to go with Dublin simply based on run of form, and Armagh still hasn't shown full potential. So it's going to be a close one, though. It's going to be very close. I'm not going to do score predictions this week because I was so far off last week. I'm not even going to bother wasting time making up scores just to go 0 for 10 in the score category. So yeah, we'll just go simply Dublin win. Close enough game though. Now, Mayo and Kerry. I don't know what to think of this Mayo team yet. They are struggling, but they are coming off a draw, and it was a decent draw against Armagh. But Kerry showed real class in that win against Tyrone, and David Clifford's what was it first appearance in league football this year at least. It was Paddy Clifford's first score in league football ever, which is a ridiculous stat when you think about it. But I'm gonna go Kerry simply because the Cliffords are back, and I'm on the Clifford bandwagon, and that's pretty much all there is to it. And I think it's going to be about a 6 point win, but I guess we'll have to see. Anyway, for Cork Roscommon, it's hard to go against run of form, and Roscommon and Cork are both coming off losses. Cork to Monaghan, and Roscommon lost to God, who was it? Meath, maybe. But Roscommon's exceeding expectations. Cork's just about meeting their expectations. So I'll go Roscommon with this one. It's going to be probably a 2 or 3 point win. I'm no expert, but I do my best. And now for the ultra heater, battle for who's going to drop down. Honestly, at this point, I'm disappointed. I'll never lose complete faith. I'm just highly disappointed in down. A 2 point loss to Louth as well. Like it's no matter how good Louth ever gets, it's still Louth. But down as gas in the tank. If they lose to Cavan, they could chalk up the league season as a total loss. Um, there's no possible way they lose to Cavan though, is there? No, no, there's no way. Down win, 5 points. Now on to the Sunday games. I'm going to go Donegal here simply because Derry's blanket defense just doesn't translate to this new league format or this new rules format. You can't get 15 men behind the ball anymore unless you loophole the rules. But still, a 12 on 12 game doesn't suit Derry. Even though they have the firepower, Donegal shown up and shown out. So I'm going to go Donegal by 4 points. Now Galway Tyrone. Tyrone put up a great fight against Kerry, and they're up for a good bit of that match. But they're an aging squad, and they look unfit's a harsh word. They look gassed a little bit near the end. And Galway is probably the second best team in the country based on true talent right now. So I'm going to go Galway with this one, but I think it's going to be ultra tight. If it's not a 2 point or less victory by Galway, it's going to be a draw. I just don't see a way Tyrone wins. The best they can get is a draw out of this game. Now into the Division 2 games. Monaghan's been doing very well. I know I bashed them in the last video, but Louth has also done pretty well considering, a win against Down and Monaghan won against Cork. So this one's a real toss-up. So I'm going to say a draw. Simply because Louth is coming off a win, Monaghan's coming off a win. Louth should do well. Monaghan shouldn't be doing as well as they are. So I'm going to chalk this one up to a draw. My draw prediction last week with Donegal Armagh was pretty dog shit, but I guess we'll see how it goes. And the last Division 2 game of the weekend, it's fair to say Westmeath is going down and Meath is probably going up. I wasn't expecting Meath to have this kind of talent, and I wasn't expecting Westmeath to perform this poorly. But Meath should be a Leinster final team, if not Louth. Dublin, obviously. But I don't see a world where Meath loses this one. Simply, you know, Westmeath are 0-0 and 4, four losses, and it was like a combined point difference of -23. So they've been outscored like 71 to 94 in all four league games so far. And Meath's got Jordan Morrison. If he's not an all-star this year, I'd be shocked, plain and simple. But I mean, this is a good one to land on, or to end on, I should say. If this isn't a win prediction, I'll stop this series altogether. I If Westmeath somehow pulls this out, I will eat dog shit on camera. I know that sounds like the Boston College guy. I will eat dog shit on camera if Westmeath wins this one. If a draw, the bet's null and void. If Meath wins, I told you so. If Westmeath wins, I will eat dog shit on camera. Well, with that being said, thanks for watching. Hopefully Westmeath shits the bed. So I don't have to eat dog shit. But yeah, those are my predictions. I'm gonna estimate we go 5-3, hopefully. But yeah, I'm gonna estimate we go 5-3. Obviously, I hope all my predictions are right. But you know, I'd be happy with a 5-3 performance this week. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, leave some video suggestions, anything you'd like me to react to, whatever. I keep saying it at the end of every video. Anything you want me to react to, drop a link in, give me the video title, whatever. I'll do reactions, whatever you guys want me to do, because this is fun for me. It's just a pastime. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. Enjoy the football this weekend if you are watching, and adios. Have a good one.